Okay. It's the Dread Pirate signing in to the YouTube RPG Brigade with a video response concerning empty rooms. Game Master should never be afraid of putting empty rooms into any of their design concepts. The concepts that you put in is what fills an empty room, because nothing is truly empty, to go down to what the nth degree. But I've come up with an adventure that is nothing but an empty dungeon. The first part of it is players receive a map. Ancient, old, gamers like that. Players like that. So they travel to this dungeon. They get to the dungeon, go into the first set of rooms. First room, it's all drippy and moldy, and they find nothing. Move on to the second room. Second room is filled with rubble, broken pottery, broken glass, broken things, and small fire pits throughout the room with charred remains inside of some unknown creature. Third room is a room filled with nothing but fungus. But it's non-harmful, and some of it's edible. Edible, not edible, depending on the game master. And they move on. And the fourth room is filled with statuary of various poses, just because they're going to think Medusa, or something that turns people to stone. But it's just filled with statuary, arms broken off, whatever, heads knocked off, stuff like that. So, they get down to the final room, and what it is, it goes into a very small exit to the lower level, obviously, but it's very small. They can't get through it. They have to dig it out, and the whole 9 yards. They find in this room more fire pits with more unidentifiable remains, some blood spatter near the entrance to the thing that goes deeper. And then, obviously, they've spent X amount of time in these rooms, going through them. As they exit the room, or exit the dungeon, a local yokel from the village that wasn't on the map, because it wasn't there 200 years ago when this map was made, comes running up screaming, "Get out from there! Get out from there! The trolls! You'll wake up the trolls! Only Stephen can fight the trolls, and he keeps the trolls at bay." And it's like, well, who's Stephen? Well, so come to the village. I'll introduce you to Stephen. And as Stephen goes, they go into the village, and amazingly in the tavern, Stephen's holding court, and he's there, and he's got these skulls on a thing around his neck, and he's telling them that he's beating the trolls, and he's giving them the thing of how I'm keeping you safe from the trolls. And everyone's buying him food and giving him stuff, and the players introduce themselves, and he's like shaking their hand. He said, well, maybe we can finally get to that lower level, and we'll totally beat up on those trolls. And as it goes through the night, party, if they decide to stay in the tavern or the inn, they catch Stephen leaving town in the middle of the night. And maybe they follow him. And it turns out that Stephen's a total sham. He's like a 0 level whatever thing. But he goes in and kills the rats, burns the carcasses, and comes back and tells people who won't go into that thing that they're troll remains. Now, what can also happen is Stephen gets caught and says, oh, well, I was going to do some pre-scouting, glad you came along, and he leads them into a trap into another section. Right? Or he attempts to harm the PCs. Right? Or it's just one of those things where, do they expose Stephen? Do they leave Stephen there? It's up to the party. Off of nothing but empty rooms. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll shoot another one concerning some other ideas I have on adventures as I get a chance to. Thanks, guys.